Hey, Rob. You know what I think is kind of classic and ironic?
What's that?
Multiple times a week. Perhaps if someone were running an audit, they might say daily. I say something out loud like, no one needs an intro on your YouTube video. No one wants to listen to you play guitar a whole bunch at the beginning and have some graphic come in and do a swirly deal. It's completely useless. It's like somebody at the stoplight just sitting there 2 or 3 seconds after the light has changed colors and not going. It just, for some reason, it feels like, a madness.
And here we are with an intro to our podcast, to our video.
Somewhere between, whatever people see, 7 and 15 seconds long of music and a countdown timer.
Yeah. Yep.
Why do we have that?
Why do we have it?
The countdown timer.
Countdown?
Yeah, we've had it from the beginning.
I think it's to give people a chance to join when we go live, so that we don't just jump immediately into content. And some people live for this happy talk.
Oh, they do. Look,
the happy talk is the best.
I'm one of those. When I'm getting ready to descend the stairs down into the 7th level of Trump hell, which I call my basement when I have to talk about him for an hour, I think, well, at least I get to have some chit chat.
Yeah. Doug, I had the opportunity yesterday to drive down to Fort Smith, Arkansas, a place where you have been.
Wonderful place.
Lovely city. I just love it. I love Fort Smith. And I had a chance to have a little Christmas party with the Sebastian County Democrats.
Oh, wow. And you got a cup.
The mug they had given me previously at a candidate forum that I was at. But I thought after spending the evening with them last night, I would use this mug today because, man, it was just lovely. Just wonderful.
Well, congratulations. What goes on at the Sebastian County Democrat Christmas?
Well, there was a taco bar, which was fantastic.
On every corner.
Really great. There was a little game of Democratic bingo, which you had to go around and find people who fit different categories, and if you got bingo, you get a little door prize.
Okay.
And what was funny is one of the bingo squares was, I have talked to a live human being in Tom Cotton's office. And no one
got it.
No one. Yeah. It was a little, and then, just lots of conversation, just walking around table to table, chatting with folks and having a great time. I had a lady tell me, she said, listen, I would vote for a frog instead of Congressman Steve Womack. And I said, well, I hope I'm a little bit better candidate than a frog.
So. I really hope that goes on your website.
Yeah.
Robb Ryerse, better than a frog. And so Rob, you've been in a lot of rooms in your professional life, and you've been very room frequent just as a human being. But you've been in a lot of professional rooms. You've walked around with different roles, church leader and participant, attendee, and parent, and candidate.
Yeah.
How is it different being a candidate at a Democratic event where one of the binding narratives of this group of people is that they want to elect Democrats, and you're the most prominent Democrat that's going to be in their place? What's that like for you?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. I was always, as a pastor, whenever we would have potlucks, I was always very conscious of wanting to make sure that, like, I wasn't the first person to go through the line, kind of elbowing my way to the front. I followed a pastor at a church that was that way, and it just didn't sit well with me, mostly because I kind of take Jesus seriously when he says the first will be last, the last will be first.
So you're
So
basically long-term planning is what you're saying?
yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm like, listen, if I can just wait 10 minutes here, this is gonna be good in heaven.
I mean, in
Yeah.
glory,
Yeah,
I've got it.
exactly. Yeah.
And that,
Just racking up jewels in my crown.
and I get the credit for being gracious, and I
Hmm.
just sent somebody else to eternity's backline.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Wow.
cutting people in the line to heaven for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, this is also why I don't take the best parking spots. I don't take like the closest parking spots because the last will be first and the first will be last, or whatever that is.
Do you hear that loud music behind me?
I do hear just a little bit.
There's
Who is playing music?
I don't know who's here.
Yeah.
Apparently a marching band. Okay,
So anyway,
pardon me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So last night I was.
Hey, you keep talking. I'm going to go see what's up.
Yeah, there was.
I'll hear you.
There's a really sweet lady who kept saying to me, have you gone through the line, or have you had dinner yet? And I was taking that time to let other people go and visit with folks. So yeah, that's what it is like being a candidate in a room like that. And versus being a pastor in a room like that, it's really similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
The Ohio State marching band upstairs.
No, we have there's a little room behind me, and we have a sauna in that room, one of those infrared saunas.
Oh.
So it heats the objects in the sauna, not the air. It's that kind, like you can comfortably have in your house without your house getting all hot. And there's a sound system in there that is literally a car stereo that's recessed in the roof behind a little panel.
Okay.
And my grandson and I were in there over the weekend, and somehow think we didn't shut the radio
It's
off.
been playing for days.
I think we set it on mute, and it must have timed out of the mute because I was wandering around over there like, where in the world is that music coming from?
How often do you get in the sauna?
Well, when we first got the sauna 5 years ago, it was very frequent. Now it's just like every other,
Yes.
like a treadmill or a Stairmaster or a Peloton
swimming
bike
pool.
or a pool or a hot tub.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yep.
when the grandkids come over and we in the
Just
sauna. Yeah, that's it. Nothing.
Hey, Doug, can I tell you something fun that right here on the live on the pod on the live
On the
stream
pod stream?
on the pod stream that's a little bit of a secret, but I'm pretty sure my kids don't watch. So
Yes.
little Christmas secret. So I've arranged for my two eldest children to come home for Christmas, helping them with arranging their flights. One flying from New York City, the other flying from Chicago. The one flying from New York City is connecting through Chicago, and they're on the same flight.
Wow.
And they don't know it.
They don't know it.
Yeah.
And you're just going to wait and see if they see.
Yeah. Not gonna tell
Okay, do you have the discipline to not say a word, even if you
Oh,
know
yeah.
like flight has
Oh, yeah.
boarded and you didn't get a
oh, yeah.
text?
them. I can.
Okay, of the two kids, who is more likely to see the other? I mean, you can say A or B and one and two, but
Well, I think
is there one?
Matt is probably more likely to see Calvin because Calvin's big. He's large.
Sizism just doesn't quit.
Yeah, that's right. But I also could see Calvin being more observant than Matt, and maybe Matt being like, down in their phone and not looking at anything.
See, yeah. And
Yeah,
how
I think
people
it could go
move
either
in
way.
public transportation spaces like that. It's really a thing. Hey, I had this thought just 2 days ago because I'm drinking out of this cup, which says, "Oh, geez, there's a big coffee drip on it. It's terrible to hold that up."
Can't
says,
see it.
It says, "You are my favorite."
Yeah. Mine
And-
says Sebastian County Democrats.
And the print is on the cup so that if you're holding it in your right hand, the print is facing you.
Yeah.
And I wondered, is that a thing people do on cups on purpose? Yours is the other way around, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right hand, it's out. I wonder why.
And the other side has a map of Arkansas.
Okay, well, so that's the answer. That they have something on both sides of the cup.
That's interesting though. Like,
It got me thinking.
Is the message for you, or is it for the public,
or is it a southpaw? Is it a southpaw cup?
Oh,
finally the left-handers.
Could be.
Hey, are you a right-hander or left-hander?
I'm a righty.
Everything, as much as you can tell. You pick something up with your right hand. You text with your right hand. You write your right ear on your phone.
Yeah, I guess I've never really thought about it, but yeah.
I'm a lefty, but I throw with my right hand. I shake with my right hand. I think I tend to reach for things with my right hand, but every other thing, like texting or writing or phoning, it's left hand. Yeah. You know those people that are ear dominant, so they're hand dominant and ear dominant?
Oh.
So if they're on the phone and they're right-handed and they like to use their right ear, but then they need to use their hand for something, like to write something down, they'll move the phone to their left hand, and then they'll cross their body and hold it over to the right ear. Friends, just start paying attention to that, and you will see it all over the place. How ear dominant we are. Hey, Rob, I'd love to sit and just chit chat with you.
Well, I think before we move on, we need to just acknowledge that Chicken DQ9ZG doesn't like the countdown.
Doesn't like the countdown timer. Is it the timer itself? Chicken DG9ZG.
It's basic as a countdown timer could be. There's no
No, it's blue. There's color. It could have been just black and white. It's blue with white. And I picked a nice font. Yeah. So, well, okay, but Chicken, or can I call you Chick? I don't want to get too close.
This is this thing that Ecamm is doing where the YouTube comments are coming in with @ instead, with people's handles instead of their names. So
their names.
Chicken DQ9ZG could be, someone.
It is probably someone with a family given name. Well, but with this level of specificity, was listening and then comments.
DQ9ZG is their government name? Is the case?
I was just saying it. Well, I guess if it was a government name, that would be how the government would give you. I was just saying it as opposed to a bot or one of the algorithm robots. Yeah. But hey, Chick, just let us know. Do you mean starting with the countdown timer, or are you speaking specifically of the vibe and the look of the timer itself? Look, my feelings are not attached to this timer. I hate start themes, so I'm all for you. We might get rid of it. I don't know. Maybe we'll. Maybe we'll just banter more nonsense at the beginning, so people feel like they're. Okay. Anyway, we won't go into that. Hey, Rob, we've been playing this game, where you find a video and make me respond to it. I want to turn about on you and show you a post, and have you respond to it.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm excited.
From Fox News, December declaration in all caps. It says for those listening. President Trump delivered a special holiday message at the annual National Christmas Tree lighting. Quote, "Religion is coming back to the USA." And then there's a picture of the First Lady and the felon. And then it says below it, in a quote, "With the birth of Jesus, human history turned from night to day. His words and his example call us to love one another, to serve one another." So I'm guessing Donald Trump uttered something like those words. And this is a post from Fox News. And I saw it on a friend's Facebook posting, and he had red circled religion and then went into a whole thing about, well, give me your response first to this post. And what do you think?
Yeah, the red circle of religion automatically draws that to me, draws my attention to that. Um, I have observed over time that people who, as a pastor, people try to connect with me like they want to like show they're down with the religion or
Mm,
they're
mm.
down with the spirituality. They're down with what and and I have observed that people use words and phrases that
Hmm.
um, are not used by the sincere adherents of a faith.
Right.
For instance, the man upstairs is a phrase that people will use about God, but no serious devout Christian
Or
uses the
Muslim or
phrase,
Jew.
right? The man upstairs. The good book um, is, often used about the Bible, said by it seems like it is said by people who want to quote the Bible, say something good about the Bible, but like it's just like Dan Dietrich looking at you,
Yeah.
writing the good book into the
Yeah.
lyrics of the hymn for the 81%. It's just a phrase that like
Yeah. The colloquialisms. Yeah. Yeah.
religion
Mm-hmm.
is another one.
Yeah.
A person who has serious, devout Christian faith, a person who has deep appreciation for and understanding of Christian faith, even if they aren't necessarily an adherent themselves. It doesn't use the word religion like Donald Trump uses it.
Yeah. When talking
Religion
about,
is
yeah.
coming back to the USA.
Yeah.
No, especially because for several decades now, Christianity has, the evangelical Christianity in America has pushed the idea that it's not a religion, it's a relationship.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, when you use the word religion, like what this triggers to me is here's a guy who's trying to sound like he gets it and he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's my initial reaction. When he uses the word religion, it reminds me of people saying the man upstairs.
The man upstairs. Hey, I got a couple comments about this, but when I was a landlord, I owned 5 or 7 different rental properties, and they had multiple units in them, and it was just a hectic time of life.
Yeah, and just by the way, I would love if you could just switch terminology a little bit and say when I was a slumlord.
And I went to the door of a particular unit and I knocked, and I could see a little bit through this sort of glass upper top.
Are you telling the story that I think this is? Oh, you have a great landlord story that makes me laugh every time you tell it.
No, I don't think this is it. I don't think this is right. Is this one about the wet dollars? Is that the one you're thinking of? The wet bills? No.
Yes.
No, I knock on the door and I can see a little bit of movement up there, and I hear some rustling, and I hear this little kid's voice yell, "Mom, the man is here." And I'm like, oh my gosh, there is a world in which I am the man.
Yep.
Which is sort of where the man upstairs comes from, the boss,
People
the
just
landlord,
trying to live their lives, and here comes the slumlord to take their money.
And another thing happened. I had written this book called "The Christianity Worth Believing," which is great. I think it's really it's a nice little contribution to the goodness of literature and religion and religious books in the world. Pick it up at your local retailer if you can flash back to 2008, but now you can find it, unused books on the internet. I was selling our properties, one of these, and the deal with the new purchaser was that I did not renew any of the leases from the time of the purchase agreement until closing in that window, because he wanted the units to be vacated as soon as possible because he was doing a remodel on them and so on. So I signed this deal. It takes a couple of months for the closing to happen. And in that period of time, I have to say to one of the tenants whose lease is going to come up for renewal in that window, I can't renew your lease. And it was really an inconvenience for her, a life-altering problem.
Yeah.
Like things had changed in her life. It was going to make it harder for her to get a lease somewhere else. I felt terrible. She was mad. It was just the stuff the man does,
Oh, yeah.
And I went over to talk to her again in person just to see how it's going. And she has a copy of my book.
Oh.
And she says, and you're the guy that wants to talk about a Christianity worth believing in It was the moment where I realized I can't live in both of these worlds. I can't be a landlord, which in order to be a landlord, you just, the soft-hearted, caring, let's deal with you as a person, not the system first, is very difficult when you are responsible for owning and managing properties.
Yeah.
Can
I tell
terrible.
you a little parenthetic story that I forgot to tell you? When I was at the Sebastian County Democrats holiday party last night, there was a gentleman who prayed to bless the food before it was eating. At a Democratic county party event, they prayed to bless the food. Hello,
Wow.
God with Democrats. And and so I went over and was chatting with him, and he's a retired pastor, and he said, hey, hey, what, I told him I had started a non-denominational church, and he said, well, what kind? And so I said to him what I say to everybody, just as kind of a level set. I said, well, do you know who Brian McLaren is? And he said, oh yeah, I've read many of his books. And, yeah, I love Brian McLaren. And he said to me, have you been to Wild Goose? And I said, yes, I went this last year. And he said, I've been to 3 or 4 of them. I said, do you know Doug Pagitt? He's like, yes, I love Doug Pagitt.
Ah, how nice.
Yeah. You made an appearance at the
I was invoked.
County Democrats.
I was invoked. Oh.
Yeah. Really
well, whenever you do that, do it in remembrance of me. I appreciate that. I mean, remember me. I mean, say hi from me. I don't.
What strikes you about this Donald Trump speech about the holiday?
Every word of the phrase "religion is coming back" to the United. I mean, every word in it, as you say, religion is. It's like okay, it's happening now, and is coming back.
Yeah.
Hey, Don. Where was it? Because look, as any self-confessing person of any religion, the last thing you need to confirm the power of your faith in your nation is your government jumping on your side. If that's what you think religion coming back is, that the government...
Yeah, did these people not have any history?
It was never gone. It's not coming back. Like this, the entire structure of it is trying to say to all those people who were so bothered during Obama's term that he wore a tan suit and that the barista at their coffee shop said Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas. And by the way, the word merry when it comes to Christmas, if you're really into, let's say Merry Christmas and not Happy Holidays, is merriness what we're talking about with Christmas?
Yeah.
Is it merry? Because I don't think there's another time where in any serious mode do you use the term merry.
Yeah, and can we talk about the word holidays, which is holy days, holy days.
Okay.
Like there is something distinctly religious.
Oh, holidays. You're saying is a holy days. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holidays is the mashup of holy and days. It's like,
Wow. It's like the pod stream.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Slumlord.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, okay. So here's going to be your argument next time you're with one of these people. You're like, here's why I like happy holy holidays, because it names the day as holy, not as merry.
Yes. Merriment. Oh, that merriment just reminds me of,
Anyway, it's just,
friars drinking ale in Sherwood Forest.
Okay, and let's go on to the rest of the quote.
Okay.
With the birth of Jesus.
Yeah, and can we just note, he did not write this.
Yes. Okay, he said it.
These words may have come out of his pie hole, but he did not write this.
He's credited with it out of his cheeseburger hole. That got me. Okay. In this holiday season, I just want to spend a little time with some edification on the Christ event, for which the burgeoning Christian community in the Roman church, in the Roman culture of the early 4th century, was trying to find a way for the celebration of the sending of the Christ to be acknowledged. So they coupled Roman birth narratives, which was positive acclamation of the Herods and the princes and the kings, their birthdays, with the changing of the solstice, the days going from darkness to light. Christians have never been interested in the day of Jesus's birth. It's not, stick with me for a second here. If you're like, yeah, but when I go to church, they put out the little manger and they put out the little baby Jesus and they put out the birthing narratives. The birthing narratives are meant to shine a light on the sending of the Christ, not the birth of a baby. Okay, just theologically. The reason that there's Christmas is because they wanted to proclaim the Christ sending. That's what the Mass was about, the Christ Mass. Christmas is the Mass, the church celebration, the church teaching of the sending of the Christ. Now, I am one of those Christians who holds deeply that the humanity of Jesus and the divinity of Jesus are inseparable, as it is with all of us, and so we can do very fine to talk about Jesus or the Christ. But the Christ Mass was all about the sending of the Christ, not the birthing of a baby. If somebody wants to be in the Christian tradition, what you will say is, with the sending of the Christ, human history turned from night to day. It's not a happy birthday. When people get together at Christmas and pull out a birthday cake and put something to represent a couple of thousand candles on it, to represent Jesus' birthday, that is something like we would do for Martin Luther King Day or President's Day or kid's birthday, your birthday. That's not the theological notion. So if you want to say the birth of Jesus is a big deal to me because I'm a follower of God in the way of Jesus, feel free. But then if you want to invoke the theological understanding that human history turned from night to day, which, by the way, is nowhere in the Christian theological or biblical text at all. There's nothing wrong with night. There's nothing expressly great about day. It's not night is bad and day is good, unless you got a subtle little black is bad and white is good rolling around in there. And then Trump goes on to say his examples, His example calls us to love one another. No.
Unless
no,
you're an immigrant.
Again, to the Christians who want to hold that you got to say Merry Christmas and not Happy Holidays. They don't want you to relegate Jesus to being an example. Right? And Donald Trump, thank you for saying we should love one another and serve one another. And that means you can't call people human garbage. This is the epitome of taking the Lord's name in vain.
Yeah.
End of sermon. Pass the plates. Or Rob, unless you have a piece of poetry.
Well, I think that you are bringing a theological sophistication and nuance to this that neither Donald Trump nor his speechwriter possess. And just on the surface, this sounds like the type of thing that would be written in a Christmas card, you know, that you got from Dayspring, and not like.
In fact, I got a Christmas card each year of the Biden administration from the White House and from the Biden team. I wish I'd kept them. I just don't keep Christmas cards, especially after last November. I think I purged all my Christmas cards from the White House. But they were even more theologically advanced than this. I'm saying this isn't their Christmas card, but I bet the White House Christmas card that's going to come out is going to say nonsense like this. Like, if you want to dabble in Christian nationalism, go right ahead, which is what this is. Civic religion, birthday, silliness, nonsense. Religion is back strong because the government's behind it and all this. Great. But this is the dangerous part of Christian nationalism. If he had said something like...
It dilutes the real mysterious power of the story. It takes something that can really transfix a person, captivate a person's imagination, transform a person's life.
Oh yeah, does it?
And it reduces it to,
right.
You know, the little, you know, thing written inside a greeting card that nobody actually reads.
And nobody cares. Look, if Donald Trump had done what Marianne Buddy did when she preached at the prayer service at his inauguration, which was to say, Mr. President, you claim a faith. If you would allow that faith to influence your work as president, to show kindness and grace to Americans who are scared. If Donald Trump had said, in this holiday season, I know how important it is. But instead, he says, religion is coming back because the government is behind religion. Not your faith is going to infuse your religion with goodness and kindness and common good. Just the opposite. We are going to empower a certain form of religion in America that we think deserves the backing of the U.S. government.
Yep.
And that, friends, is horrible. Now, look, if Joe Biden had put out the same thing in a same kind of messaging and, I don't know, MSNBC picked it up with exactly the same deal, I promise you we would be going through this same thing.
Yeah, we did. We did critique Joe Biden's, like, you know, unnuanced Christian nationalist
yes,
language at times.
Okay, well. Chicken's reminding us they're not a bot.
Hey, that's
and
great news.
not your countdown timer, just you in general, since you mentioned
Yeah.
it.
And chicken, by the way, I'm not a bot is exactly what a bot would be programmed to say.
That's good. I'm a believer in anything, but I do not wish to get rid of churches. You can get rid of churches and just focus on community connection. Maybe have a chapel instead of churches. No, yeah, there's places that do that, so it's not a bad idea. All right, Rob, so much we could talk about. Big news in Texas, where we're going to be working.
Yeah.
The Senate race. We've already, are thrilled about James Tallarico running. Colin Allred, a common good candidate, a previous common good candidate, has now decided not to run for Senate, and Jasmine Crockett is running for Senate. So, in Texas, candidates that vote common good can feel really good about are one of those two are going to be the candidates for Senate. And that, to our minds and to our work, is great.
Yeah. And, I want to be super clear on a couple of things. Our hope and goal is that every candidate running for office would be a candidate for common good.
Yes.
Because a candidate for common good is a candidate who says, if and when I'm elected, I will use the common good as my governing criteria. It's a shared set of values. Say, hey, we might not always agree on every jot and tittle of policy, but what I will do when I'm elected is I'm going to think about what's best for everybody. And that common good mentality is something that we desperately need. And we want every candidate who's running for office to make that pledge. And so to have multiple candidates for common good in an election is fantastic. We don't pick sides, in primaries, we're thrilled about that. And so having, people who have been, either common good candidates in the past or aligned with us is really fantastic. Having three of them in the same race, just, wonderful. Colin Allred now is going to, run for a House seat instead of running for the Senate seat, which is great. I also want to be clear about something, because people might think like they look at us as a couple of white guys, been to seminary and pastored. James Tallarico, he's he's right out of central casting for vote common good, right? Like he's the ideal vote common good candidate. People might be thinking that. This work that we're doing is not to get Christian Democrats elected to office.
That's right.
We're not trying to get more people like us elected to office.
Yes.
Now, we're not opposed to Christian Democrats getting elected to office, but that's not the work that we're doing. This is not some progressive or left version of Christian nationalism. We're not trying to take America back for liberal Jesus. We are agnostic about the faith of the people that we work with at Vote Common Good. So, I'd be super excited if James Tallarico is the next senator from the great state of Texas. I'd also be super excited if Jasmine Crockett is the next senator from the great state of Texas. It is not about electing people who look like or think like or have the exact same
that's a great point.
As us. We are not trying to get Christian Democrats elected. We're trying to get Christian voters to behave differently than they have in the past.
Yeah, and we're trying to get Democratic candidates and Republican candidates to care about the common good as their criteria for what it means to be a public representative.
Yeah.
And we also have a pledge on our website, which the candidates agreed to. So a candidate for common good makes the agreement that they will make love of all things, the
Wait a minute. They agree that they'll make love?
that they will make love, wait for it,
Okay.
their guiding principle in how they
Oh,
interact.
okay. Okay. Didn't know what we were asking them to do.
It's like Arrested Development. Wait for it.
Sorry.
I will call on all elected leaders to comport themselves in ways consistent with love in their public and political lives.
Doug loves
A
the word
bold commitment to comport yourself
comport.
in a way consistent with love in your political and public life. That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're one of the only groups that puts that call out. Number 2 of commitments, that they will support elected leaders who do so, regardless of their party. If someone acts in a way of love, they will acknowledge it, they will be supportive of it, they will build a community of politicians that care about acting in a way that feels like love and not just self-serving. And every one of us has to define our own sense of what love is.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, and I heard this quote from Marianne Buddy, who was quoting Parker Palmer, putting myself in a downline. Who you're thinking about when you say we says an awful lot about who you are and who you think this country is. Who you are thinking about when you use the term we is a big deal.
Yeah.
So if you think love for Doug, only you and your group might cease to
be.
But
Doug, you say this a lot where you say like, who is the we and we the people?
Yes. Number 3. Well, thank you. I see what you're doing there. Parker could have quoted me. Number 3, I will stand up to and call for a change from elected leaders who violate the virtues of love. You'll call it out. And there, look, our government, the parts of our society that we give power to, unlike any other part of our society, right? The power to restrain, the power to execute, the power to take, the power to create, the power to be in charge. We need those people to be comporting themselves in ways of love. And if they don't, other politicians and leaders should stand up and not say things like, well, that's not how I would say it. Call it out if you think it violates an ethic of love. And 4th, you will call on elected officials to demand that other public officials comport themselves in a way of love. So you're going to act that way. You're going to support people who do. When people don't, you're going to name that. And when other people don't stand up, you're going to call that out. You're going to act in a way of love. When we showed this, you remember when we first rolled this thing out? I remember showing it to a woman who was the congressperson in the area here where I live named Michelle Bachmann. I ran into her at an event. And I said, hey, we're doing this. I'm a pastor, and we're doing this thing called the Love and Politics Pledge. She said, that's great. I said, here it is. And we show her this thing. And then it has these 4 commitments. And she's reading them. And she says, I will call on elected leaders to support. She goes, that's great. She gets to number 2, I will support leaders who do so. And she's like, that's great. Number 3, I see her reading it. She says, I will stand up to the call of change for leaders who violate. She puts the sheet down. She looks at me and she goes, oh, that's clever. Because she at the time was a congressperson supporting Donald Trump who was not.
Yep. And she understood the implication of what we were saying.
Yeah. She
and then a couple minutes after that, we got kicked out of the values voters.
Yeah, then we were thrown out of the lobby. Thrown out of the lobby. All right. So anyway, when you hear us talk about candidates for common good, this is what they're committing to. So if you're a Green Party member, if you're a libertarian, like it's hard. If you're a Democrat, if you're a Republican, and you comport yourself in a way of love and you commit to the common good, go ahead and take our pledge. People ask us all the time, how come more Republicans aren't candidates for common good? We're like, yeah, you tell me. Why won't they make a commitment to make the common good their criteria? Why is that? Literally, why is the common good not the common refrain? Well, maybe it's because on both sides, frankly, it has become a game of zero-sum win. We get power, they're out of power, that's all that matters.
Yep.
And look, once you get power, if you don't comport yourself in a way that's consistent with the common good, it's not what the American people want.
Yep.
That's all.
Yeah. You're exactly right.
That's all
100%.
Hey, should we talk about any of the other things outside of the race in Texas? Like, say, the fact that Kristi Noem, here's my prediction. Kristi Noem, head of Homeland Security, and Pete Hegseth will not be in their jobs come the State of the Union. They may not be in their jobs come their 1-year anniversaries. If they are at the state, I don't know when they're scheduled the State of the Union, but if they are the State of the Union, they're not going to get a 1-year anniversary cake. Neither of them are going to be in their jobs. Do you have a sense of this?
I totally agree.
Care?
Yeah, totally agree.
I mean, they're both Hegseth's just cavalier and stupid handling of, first of all, being over a policy that wants to use military assets, including their cost, the lethality, and the fact that we're invoking the United States military into drug interdiction in foreign waters for boats that are not even coming to the United States. By the Defense Department and Homeland Security's own definition, own determination, the boats from Venezuela that they've attacked repeatedly, I think 17 times now, are not even bound for the United States. Venezuela moves their drugs to Europe.
Oh. Those boats big enough to cross the Atlantic?
No, they're delivering it, and then it's being moved in other ways. It's a whole chain of events. And I said it last week, and I will say it every week that they're doing this.
Unfamiliar. I'm not completely an expert.
Narco trafficking informed.
Yeah, the supply chain of illicit drugs around the world.
Well, you know who is? The Defense Department and Homeland Security. And the Department of War. They are. They are aware of this. Look, the precedent that this sets.
Yeah.
Now, the reason they're doing it to Venezuela is because Donald Trump signed an executive order basically declaring Venezuela as a terrorist organization. Mm-hmm. So incredibly dangerous.
Yep.
And for Tom Cotton, the senator from Arkansas, to continue to talk as if America is under attack because drugs are coming into this country and it's a terrorist attack. If it were anthrax, I could understand the argument.
Yep.
If it was a dirty bomb, I could understand the argument.
Yep.
They're apparently trafficking in cocaine and fentanyl. If ketamine were on that list, you'd have a real issue with the Health and Human Services addict and the Doge leader who are pumping themselves full of ketamine. This is a drug-addicted administration. I mean, the amount of cocaine that everyone knows is being used by people in this administration, and they have the nerve to suggest that that is being complicit with terrorism. I mean, just think about the logic of this, Rob. If these are narco-terrorists, then the use of cocaine is participating in a narco-terrorist plot.
Unless their cocaine is made in the USA.
Or is made in Nicaragua, where the president of Nicaragua, who is convicted of cocaine trafficking, was pardoned by Donald Trump, so that Donald Trump could see him reelected in Nicaragua, so that Trump's cryptocurrency could be based there. The single most corrupt, dirty presidency. Yeah. I mean, this thing is going to get Hegseth. And the immigration raids, there goes Christine. I mean, when Trump knows that going into the midterm elections, people are furious about the way that masked ICE agents are wrestling people to the ground. Mm-hmm. And America is no safer. He's going to dump Christine home and think, well, that woman made those policies. Hey, Rob, 2 numbers for you.
Yeah.
317, 349. Average price of eggs in the United States right now, $3.49. The price of eggs in the United States on Election Day, 2024, $3.17. If the number one motivator for voters is cost of living, and you'll say to yourself, but gas. Average price of a gallon of gas across the nation today, $3. On Election Day, $3.02. Technically, gas is cheaper. If that's a meaningful decline,
yeah.
Affordability remains the number one issue on people's minds. Well, now maybe the price of eggs will change. Maybe Donnie needed more than a year, 10 months, to get the price of eggs under control. Because a day to the Lord is but 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And day one to Donald Trump is but 10 plus months. Yeah. Fair enough.
Dictator for a day.
I'm just going to randomly pick Bob Turtle's comment of a thumbs up and a heart and pop it up anytime we want. Thank you, Bob.
Doug, it really was a big week for Donald Trump because he is finally a Peace Prize winner.
But was it the good people of Nobel laureate fame?
Do you not know that he was awarded a Peace Prize?
I do not. Is it PIECE? And he got
a... he was awarded a Peace Prize.
Okay.
From FIFA.
FIFA, the football / soccer international organization.
Here's an article. President Trump was awarded the new FIFA Peace Prize on Friday at the 2026 World Cup draw, giving the spectacle to set matchups for the quadrennial soccer tournament even more of a Trumpian flair. Trump, who had openly campaigned for the Nobel Peace Prize, had been heavily expected to receive the newly created FIFA prize. FIFA president, a close ally of Trump, has said he thought Trump should have won the Nobel Prize for his efforts to broker a ceasefire in Gaza. In awarding the prize, the president of FIFA told Trump it was a beautiful medal for you that you can wear everywhere you want to go. Trump promptly placed the medal around his neck. The certificate that the president of FIFA handed Trump recognizes the president for his actions to promote peace and unity around the world. Donald Trump, FIFA Peace Prize winner.
It's just got to settle in for him as to, well done, good and faithful servant. I mean, what's he going to do if he strong arms the Nobel
Here we go.
Committee?
Hold on. Trump thanked his family, including his wife, First Lady Melania Trump, and praised leaders from the other two host nations, Canadian Prime Minister and Mexican President. His brief remarks saying the coordination of the countries has been outstanding. Quote, "This is truly one of the great honors of my life," Trump said, adding that most important, I just want to thank everybody. The world is a safer place now. One of the great honors of his life, getting a made-up award from the people at FIFA.
The Football Federation.
Soccer, yeah.
All the important things happening in the United States and the power of the presidency that we give to this man, the fact that he spends his time going to that, running the Kennedy Honors Program and personally selecting Gene Simmons from Kiss, Sylvester Stallone, Gloria Gaither as Kennedy honorees. It's just so, between the napping, the caring for the swollen ankles, and doing this nonsense, this is why when he has a 4-hour workday and all the rest of the presidential power is being turned over to a bunch of nameless bureaucrats, you would think the MAGA people would be losing their minds. Yeah. Oh, they are, in fact, losing their faith.
Yeah. Doug, one other just award notes I wanna bring up. The Golden Globes are coming up, and for the first time in history, are going to be recognizing podcasts.
No,
and
it's about time.
Yeah, the best podcasts. So the 6 nominees in the best podcast category: Armchair Expert with Dak Shepard.
Wow.
Alex Cooper's Call Her Daddy. Good
Hang
with Amy Poehler.
Who is Alex Cooper?
This is the one that the Vice President Kamala Harris allegedly spent like $500,000 on building a new set for. Because when she went on this, her campaign, I don't know. I've never listened.
It's a political podcast or a cultural podcast or something?
I think it's a cultural podcast. I'm not sure. Good Hang with Amy Poehler. The Mel Robbins podcast. Smartless.
Who's Mel Robbins?
I don't know.
Okay.
Smartless, which is Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, and Sean Hayes, which is a great podcast.
I'm a big listener.
And
Joe Rogan.
Become a Good podcast with
number one. Number one in category. Okay. Number one pizza place in town.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Stop the Count. We've been robbed. Stolen election.
Truly,
the other one is NPR's Up First. Really tragic that we were not nominated for a Golden Globe.
Okay.
I mean, we don't even have to win.
Award. Okay. Awards. I just have no time for them. I mean, because I live an unawarded life, it's just a secondary emotion. I'm just hurt.
I think if you just what we've learned from Donald Trump is if you just keep saying that you deserve to have an award, someone will eventually invent it and give it to you.
Every award is invented. They're all just social contracts of silliness. They're They're just silliness. I mean, and look, Vote Common Good won an award for promotional earned media ad of the year.
Yeah.
Our voting booth ad. We are award winners. That's why we know. It don't matter none.
No.
But you know what does matter? Donald Trump calling Somali people human garbage and unleashing ICE on the city of Minneapolis and terrorizing people.
I think the birth of Jesus, which split history into day and night or whatever. And, the example of Jesus tells us we need to love each other.
Trump attacking the media, Trump attacking the courts, the United States being downgraded in its civic freedom rating.
Yeah.
Political and economic chaos.
Chaos.
Just a week in the life of America. Do you remember that show, A Week in the Life? Or that book, A Week in the Life? Time Life books. Yeah. You'd have a photographer go around and photographers all over the country, and then they would compile them into a book. Great idea. Great thing. Mm-hmm. Every week of the Trump administration, the 40-some weeks, 38 weeks that we've had of the Trump administration, disastrous for this country. I'm truly not trying to be hyperbolic, but is there a week where we've said it was better than a year ago?
No.
I mean, save the fact of what's going on internationally in some other places. Is there anything about America that's better now than it was a year ago? Is your life better than it was a year ago?
Nope.
Now, you might say to yourself, I don't expect the president to make my life better, because here's what happens. When your political party is in office, you all of a sudden become very self-sustaining. And when the other party's in office, you say they should have done more for me. Classic thing we do in America.
Yep.
But if you want to now decide the president can't make things better for me, economically, civically, culturally, then don't make that your voting criteria.
Well,
can the president make it worse? Yes. I mean, here's the crazy thing. The president can't make things better, but the president can make things worse. And sometimes the best thing the next administration can do is to unravel what the previous administration has done. Get us back to level set. We can pass better laws through Congress. This president, I don't know if I'm saying this because I'm a partisan or if I'm a partisan because I believe this, but this president, in all of this president's current term and previous term, has just made America worse. Robb Ryerse for Congress.
I fully expect I fully expect Donald Trump to win the National Football League Walter Payton Man of the Year award.
Did you see the one about the UFC? Jim Eden says, "What is the USC coming out with a peace prize?"
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, look, it's just it. If you don't care about I know so many people. We all have friends and family who say the same thing. Like, I don't care who the president is. Okay, I get that. But for those of us who do, it is worse. The executive branch is out of control. Rob, what do you think the Supreme Court's going to do on a couple of their big cases? They're taking up the citizen, the birthright citizen case.
Yeah.
And I'm under the impression that this spring, when they settle this, they are going to rule in agreement with every court and appeals court that the Constitution makes it clear that if you're born in the United States, you are a citizen by that fact.
Yeah.
Donald Trump wants to say it depends on where your parents were from or their legal status.
Yeah.
It's opposite of America. It is the opposite of the agreement from the beginning.
Yep.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think they've taken it
I
up
agree with you.
because they want to overturn it?
No.
Okay.
No. Though yesterday there were Supreme Court hearings, and much of the speculation from the court watchers was that I think this was on maybe firing some members of the executive branch, and essentially it is a case that will lead more towards a the unitary theory of the presidency, which essentially gives the president much more power
Yeah.
as the chief executive of the executive branch. And it sounds like the Supreme Court is going to move that direction. And what that means is kind of non-political people who work in Washington, D.C., work in these agencies that provide goods and services to the American people in a wide variety of ways will be able to be easily ousted and replaced with partisan sycophants who will do the bidding of the president of the United States. It's a dangerous movement towards the possibility of greater authoritarianism, and it looks as if the Supreme Court is poised to give the president that power, which is disturbing.
It is, and I
think
you're right.
What we've seen from the Supreme Court is there are victories and there are setbacks, and there are victories and there are setbacks, and there are victories and there are setbacks, and I think that's gonna continue. I think we're gonna keep getting the mixed bag where the Supreme Court makes a good decision in some instances, and in other instances makes terrible decisions.
The structure of the United States is designed in such a way that the judicial branch should not be making these decisions. The legislative branch should be setting laws that determine the function of federal agencies, how people are hired, how they're disciplined, how they're removed.
Yep.
And what's happened in the United States for a very long time is that when Congress does not put into statute the demands and the requirements, executive branch begins to operate in that empty space. Then the judicial branch has to determine whether the executive branch functioned according to the Constitution. Now, the judicial branch, Supreme Court, should also look at what Congress passes as laws in case they're passing laws that don't match the Constitution. But so many of these things, the biggest cases that we worry so much about, could be solved by Congress passing laws.
Yep.
And so often what the Supreme Court is doing is saying, if Congress wants to pass this as a law, that would take care of it. But if they don't, then here's our determination. And this is why for 40 years of a statute-limited Congress not passing into law the things that matter to the American people is a really big deal. And that people use the Hassert rule or the Pelosi rule or the Mike Johnson rule to lead Congress, meaning that only the people in your party can vote to pass any legislation that's going to be passed. It needs to be able to be passed by just your party, is put us in a situation where huge legislative successes that would be voted on by Congress are not even being brought up to the floor because each party has decided it wants to use some sort of party dominance narrative. So the answers to a lot of this is to swap out Congress people and put in folks who will pass laws to protect the things that the Supreme Court or the executive branch might determine differently. This is why we have a representative form of democracy. This is why Congress by members of the House of Representatives are elected every 2 years and senators every 6 years, so that they are accountable to the American people for the laws that they're passing. There's hardly an issue that comes before the Supreme Court that matters to a lot of us that couldn't be solved by legislative solutions. But what we've gotten into in this country is saying things like, you can't legislate your way to whatever. And then the Supreme Court passes some kind of a ruling, and then we all say we have a renegade, runaway Supreme Court, no matter which issue it is, people on the other side. So we need a different imagination about the rules of laws. Sorry, we need a different imagination about the roles of laws in this country, and start passing these things into statute, into law, so then it's clear, and then laws can be amended, laws can be changed, laws can be adjusted through the lawmaking process. That is literally why we have lawmakers. I get into this big thing with folks all the time where they think the role of Congress people, whether they're representatives or senators, is to embody the imagination of America. It is not. Your role, a lawmaker's role as an American citizen, is to advocate for their dreams of America. Do you want a more mean capitalistic America? Do you want a common good capitalist America? Do you want a socialist America? What do you want? You as an individual should do that. When you put on your lanyard that says senator, representative, your job in that uniform is to pass laws. And if you want to take your aspirations as a citizen and put those into laws, great. But you're not successful by just saying, this is what I wish America was like. Wouldn't it be great if someone would make it like that? My goodness. Let's start calling lawmakers, here's a shocker, Rob, to make some laws.
Yeah.
Or to change some laws, or to pass some legislation, or to fix some golly dang your problems with the lawmaking function. Oh, it just, Merry Christmas. Gets me all Scroogey. Because there's literally a solution. And when I hear the actual people who have the power in their job to do something about it act like they're this emoji, on the iPhone with the hands up, palms in the air, and the head turned to the side, like, what's a guy to do? I don't know, maybe get the job where you make laws. Oh, you have that job, and you still think your job is to go around and advocate for, if you don't have a bill with your idea before Congress, don't stand there telling the rest of us about what your big idea is. Put it, and then if you want to come out every day and say, I've got, this bill with this House number or this Senate number on it, and that's the one I think we should pass, great. Take your auto deposit and feel good about your work. But your job is not to be the inspirational leader for an idea. Robb Ryerse.
I really thought that rant was going to end with Bernie Sanders.
Look, if he were the only one.
Hey, listen.
Great.
One of the ways to bypass the Hassert-Pelosi-Johnson rule that you talked about is this discharge petition, getting enough Congress people to sign on that this needs to come to a vote. It's what happened with the Epstein files. AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, representative from New York, is spearheading a discharge petition that would force a vote on banning Congress people from trading stocks.
Great.
Yeah. And great. Yeah, really fantastic. And I would just say, if I were a congressperson, I would be signing that discharge petition.
Yeah, and look, for those who don't
but what
follow
we're
discharge
seeing is-
petitions, let's explain it for the couple of people who, when a majority of members vote to put something before the House of Representatives to be moved forward, not even passed, just taken up as a floor vote, they call that a discharge petition. And those rarely come to being because normally there's one party or the other has such a sizable majority that it's very difficult to get the majority that's not all of one party. Because Congress, the House of Representatives, is so closely contested by the number of Republicans, the number of independents, and the number of Democrats, you have the chance to move just a small number of Republicans over to join Democrats or Democrats to join Republicans to make something happen that forces a majority, because that closeness creates a different environment. So that's what Rob's talking about with the discharge petition.
Yep. And so bringing a bipartisan group together to do something like this is the way forward in this
Congress.
system. Yeah, in this Congress.
Yeah, we have so for the next year, the numbers are going to be as tight as they are now, roughly, or tighter. And there's a very real chance that a number of things that haven't been able to be passed until now could be passed, or at least brought up to the floor for people to vote on.
Yeah.
Yep. And what that will do is that it undermines the power of the Speaker of the House.
Yeah, it does.
And friends, that is a good thing.
Yes, it is.
The power, okay. The unitary executive theory says that the President of the United States, in the role of the executive branch, has unique power granted by the Constitution to do basically whatever the president wants. It's a summary of the unitary executive theory. Look in the playlist on this if you're on YouTube, and you'll find a couple videos about this. We have those. The House of Representatives, basically for 35 or 40 years, has been functioning with a unitary leader theory. The power given to the Speaker to determine what bills are going to be called up, what committee assignments are going to be made, if anything's called out of committee or not, all of that resting in the power of the Speaker of the House gives that position too much power in that branch of government. So if you oppose, I would suggest, if you oppose the unitary executive theory and how the libertarians and MAGA and Republicans have wanted the presidency to have more and more executive presidential power, you should also oppose that very similar thing in the House of Representatives.
Yep.
I mean, have leadership responsibilities, but this iron fist power that is given to the leader simply because the members say, okay, we'll follow that. We'll follow those rules. The House of Representatives can change the rules anytime they want. They can decide. And when Democrats take over Congress, I plead with them to change the power of the leadership.
Yep.
It has not served America well. I don't think anyone could suggest that it has. That's why Congress has a like literally a approval rating below like everything. It's like 13%.
Yeah. It's bad.
It's only going to get to, I mean, it's probably got a top end of 40 or 50% approval, probably. But if you could get it up into the 30s, that would be a big thing, because people just don't like, whatever. We just don't like anybody in charge of anything, that doesn't go our way. Fair enough. That's how we are as Americans.
Yeah.
So when you say to yourself, what can be done? The system is just broken. Yes, the system is broken and the system can be fixed. Mm-hmm. We have a little saying around Vote Common Good. If we made it, we can change it. There are some laws of nature we can't change.
Mm-hmm.
There are some structures and functions of the government and some policies and some positions. People just made them up. They're not unlike
awards. The
people just made them. Just made them up.
Hey, listen, we really want Donald Trump to be happy with us. How about if we just give him a peace prize?
Yeah. Just make a peace prize. How about if we want different function of Congress, we just, I don't know, change the rules we make?
Yeah.
Like you don't, it's not unlike a podcast, complaining all day. Podcast host complaining all day about people having intros to their YouTube videos and then having an intro to their YouTube video.
Yeah, we've come.
You literally can change that.
Yeah. Hey, Sebastian County Democrats, thanks for last night. We had a great time. Great time.
Hey, and Rob?
Yeah. I'm your favorite?
You are my favorite. Is written on my coffee cup.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Hey, thanks to all the chitty chatties. Peggy, I'm going to steal your yep anytime we can. Best viewers on Streambo. On Streambo.
Windy rug? That's a crazy one.
Yeah, but it says, Alex, if we were going by the farmers, Hillary, not Mike Pence, would have been Trump's VP. Oh, thank you. Not by the farmers, by the framers. Yeah, they did have a thing where the vice president, I mean, talk about an even weaker vice president than J.D. Vance's role as vice president.
Yes,
we can change the rules anytime we want.
Yeah. Yep. Which, by the way, have you watched Death by Lightning yet?
I have not.
You gotta watch it.
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to, but Shelley and I, we start shows too late at night, and then we have to agree, and then we don't want anything heavy.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Just old people grumbling about not being able to watch enough TV shows.
Yes. Yeah, totally with you. Yavitz, thank you for everything. Jim, Kevin Abate for Texas now.
Oh yeah. Hey Kevin. Kevin, are you running for Texas? Are you running for office in Texas? We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. Chicken DQ9ZG. Thanks for being a part of it, Mark.
Hey, Kevin, go over to Vote Common Good and sign up to be a Common Good candidate if you can.
Yeah.
We dare you. Do you have what it takes? Do you remember, Rob, when we were kids and they had those like recruitment commercials for the Marines? Yeah. Marines must have gotten a bunch of money to try to recruit people as opposed to the Air. Well, the Air Force was pretty cool too. They had those cool Air Force ones with the planes. Nobody wanted to go into the Army, but there were these Marines commercials. We do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day. Those things.
It's 6 a.m. and that
was it 6 a.m.
It was 6 a.m. and it, as an Enneagram 3 who cares about getting stuff done, it haunts me every time I'm in bed after 6 a.m. I think
you're like
Marines are
some Marine is doing push-ups.
Some Marine just
some Marine
answered a bunch of emails.
Yeah, so some Marine just got ChatGPT up and running.
Oh,
and I'm still
working on his spreadsheet right now.
And I'm still laying here. Well, one of their other phrases, in addition to that, was, "Do you have what it takes?" It was something like that, right? Right? Do you have what it takes? Hey, candidate for office, do you have what it takes to be a candidate for common good? Show your stuff. Show your stuff. Was that another one? What was that phrase? Show your stuff. Really?
Yeah.
You don't remember that? Oh, geez, I hope that was a thing and I didn't just say some weird thing. I'm gonna ask the robots.
Yeah.
Now it's not now.
Okay, so
now chat's tried to help me. Like, oh, here's how you could use show your stuff in political organizing.
Yeah. Do you want me to write a sermon about show your
stuff? Show your stuff was a single slogan used in the Noxzema shaving cream ads in the late 1960s and early 1970s.
Wow.
The slogan was, "Let Noxzema show your stuff." Oh, it ran during the era of the famous "Take it off, take it all off" TV commercials featuring models shaving men's faces as part of the playful, high-energy ad of the time.
Wow.
I mean, basically, my mind is full of Brady Bunch lessons of life and TV commercials from the 1960s and 1970s. It's just everything else is just circling around.
Yeah.
Around that.
Yep.
Just.
Yep. I have a lot of 80s and 90s contemporary Christian music lyrics in my head. Probably in the same.
Oh. Yabbits is now saying, what was it, the WNBA? Maybe they borrowed the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that stuff was far enough. You could just reuse it and not even give credit. Just.
Oh, yeah. You know which one I think about sometimes as a really excellent slogan was when the PGA, the Professional Golfers Association, had "These guys are good."
Oh, that was the
because,
supercuts of them hitting shots.
Everybody who's tried to golf, like, and then you see like these shots at those guys, and you go, "These guys are good."
They're just good. They're just good.
These guys are good.
There's just no way around it. They're good.
Yeah. It's a great slogan. Great slogan.
Yep. There's some we should do a whole I don't know, we should do a whole podcast sometimes on those slogans and what they teach us, because I do believe I mean I'm a big fan of advertising. And advertising slogans tap into something in the human spirit when they work.
Yeah. Just do it.
Okay, we will. Don't have to be bossy about it. Hey, you know what's great? Somebody's listening on I don't know. Maybe Nate is listening on his podcast stream, and I know people get to the part where we start reading the thank you credits at the end. You know, thanks Yabbits, thanks Jim, thanks Mark Collins, and then they look down at their podcast player and they're like, "God, there's still 11 minutes.
They have 12 more minutes."
I mean, because every podcast or TV show you watch, there's something in it where you're like, how are they going to get out of this? This is our little drama, for the long-term listeners, right? If you listen long,
pants box.
Hey, what's going on with Trump's ankles? I keep seeing sassy things about it.
They're just big, swollen.
And that's an indicator somehow of something other than just, I mean, obviously it's an indicator of something more than large ankles.
Yeah, I think, circulatory issues.
Yeah, okay.
I did.
Why doesn't he wear compression socks like everybody else our age that just, is to sit or stand for a long period of time?
I wore my compression socks the other day, and wow, just glorious.
Change everything. Do you have the ones that come all the way up, nearly up to your knee, like over the calf compression socks?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, friends, if you're anywhere near our ages,
they're not super tight, but it just was glorious.
Well, they're not tights. That's another product, and a lot of people do put tights on.
Yeah.
These are compression, just gentle compression socks.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, okay, we can get into all the technology problems of not using just pure cotton and using spandex and polyester and all that. But one thing they did was creating great compression socks with that.
Yeah. Oh,
and if you're of any certain age, I actually don't care what age you are. If you sit or stand or walk a lot, so unless everything's in perfect moderation, and if you're not retaining any of the water, don't worry about this. But if you tend to retain a little water, you sit too much, stand too much, walk too much, throw on a pair of compression socks.
Just, glorious. Just feels so good.
If you've ever looked down and your feet looked a little puffy, hey, we should start having ad breaks like the real podcasts do.
Oh.
Hey, and this part of the Common Good podcast brought to you by the spandex compression socks. Do you sometimes look down and see a little bloating in your ankles? Try a pair of compression socks. Do you retain a little water weight down in your legs? Have you considered helping the blood flow by putting on a pair of compression socks? The Common Good.
Doug, I love my compression socks.
I loved it so much. I bought a pair. Remember that? Remember that ad bit? I loved it so much. I bought the company. The guy with the hair.
Yeah, Hair Club for Men.
Hair Club for Men.
I'm not just the president. I'm a client.
Yeah.
No, or was it Victor Kayam? with the shaver. I loved it so much I bought the company. That might not have been a hair club for men. That might have been Gillette shaver. Was it Gillette?
I don't know. Could somebody open their chat GPT and let us know? Because we may be conflating. I loved it so much I bought the company with I'm not just the president, I'm a client or I'm a customer or something. Maybe we're conflating those two because I feel like they were in the
Remington shavers.
Remington shavers.
Victor Kayam. Yep.
Who
I
is
liked
he?
it so much I bought the company.
How did you remember that name?
He was a former owner of the New England Patriots.
Oh, God, of course. Of course. What am I doing?
Yep. American entrepreneur, TV spokesman for Remington Products, owner of the New England Patriots from 1988 to 1991.
And he didn't like him so much. I disliked him so much, I sold the team. Or did he die?
Commercials. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Remington. Yeah. Great catch there. Okay. Because you're in that 80s, 90s commercial memory thing. Yeah. Hey, Yabbit's knew his brother, Omar. Is that a joke on his last name? Say his last name again.
Kayam.
Omar Khayyam? No, that's not
Victor Kayam.
It's not one of those like Harry Butts jokes or something, or.
Yeah. His parents were named Victor and Nanan.
Okay. Well, hey, great slogan. Hey, if you love this podcast,
we're deep into we're into the Kayam family tree. It might be time to call this thing.
If you're
Mike Stavlin is going, why am I even still listening?
This just in, the Common Good podcast has reached a new low after reading the names. Bar has been set. Award is being granted.
The Kayam family is.
If you love this podcast so much, you want to buy it, you can go to Vote Common Good, make a contribution. That's what runs all this.
As expensive as you think it is.
No, it's seriously next to free. Most of the stuff we've already paid for, so now it's just all gravy from here. It's like going in a hot dog stand. After the first summer, you paid for everything. Now the rest of it's just pure profit. All right. Please, yes, Lavitz. Well, I think we've pleased him well. Well, it's just our pleasure, Yabbits. All right. We got to go.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, my butt feels better after the workouts after a week. First day pain went away.
Oh,
yeah.
Getting used to it. Are you still, you've been faithful? Have you missed a day?
Yeah, no, I've actually been trying not to do it. Okay. I've been trying to make it reasonable and not be, all gluttonous at the start and then, fade away.
Yeah.
Like I did in my marriage. I mean, we had a big wedding ceremony at the start, and then after that, there hasn't been there's been one big party. It has been 4 decades nearly since I brought hundreds of people together for me to declare the love to my wife. We just started big, and it has just been a slow slide.
On our 20th wedding anniversary, I surprised Vanessa with a vow renewal.
Oh,
and that included hundreds of people in a party and
nice,
all of it. Yeah,
yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, wonderful. And see, then you just been on the slow slide ever since. Yeah, this is sort of what you do. It's like Yeah, that's all right. It's life. Okay, I think we just keep going till the viewer count goes to 0. All right. Okay, bye.
Trying to drive everybody away.